This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Wednesday. Clinically, Warlord. Good evening. Good evening, my friends. I'm not high enough for this shit. I don't know that I'm well enough for this shit. Remember last night how I said I might be having a heart attack? My entire left side of my body was just throbbing in pain. I collapsed when I got off the stream last night. I barely made it through. Ukraine is fear-mongering about what Russia is going to do with the, I always fuck the name up, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. I totally think I'm nowhere near Zapatista. No. Still fucked it up. Well, clinically, here's the thing. My corn went bad the other day. And then I feel like I ordered broccoli or something from Instacart and they didn't give it to me. So basically what I feel like has happened is I've went about 4 days without vegetables and I've just been eating. I made chili dogs for the 4th, chili cheese dogs for the 4th of July. So, and like, hot dogs come in packs of 8. I'm a single person, so I've had hot dogs for the last 3 days. Not a Tylenol overdose. No. I, honest to God, think that what I thought was a heart attack was actually just gas. So I ordered the shit to make a salad, and I had a gigantic ass salad, and I'm just waiting to shit my guts out pretty much. Sorry if that's too much information. Where is Tadpole? Have I added Warlord to the... I bequeath a lot of things to Warlord. Hold on, I have to actually think about this. I don't know how I'd get my... Like, I'd give you my PS5, but I don't know how I'd get it to you. I will bequeath all of the intellectual property of the Troll Patrol to Warlord in the event of my untimely passing. Clinically, I would trust you with my cats, but I would assume more than likely they would have to go to Curiouser. Meat Cakes, good evening. What was, she changed her name coming over to Kick. Go Ask Alice, I think is what she titled herself. She might come along here in the next little bit. She would probably be the one that would end up with the cats because they love her. Or Sparkles, but I don't think Sparkles loves the cats, but I don't think Sparkles would want to take care of the cats for an extended period of time. Whereas Curiouser, like, she fucking loves those cats. You know, clinically, it could be. Because she absolutely loves Alice's Restaurant. That's like a Thanksgiving tradition for her, that she listens to Arlo Guthrie. I did Alice's Restaurant when I did speech and drama in high school. I did whatever fucking category it was, prose or solo acting or whatever the fuck. I did Arlo Guthrie. Oh god! Also, one time. So I'm in speech and drama. And they put me in, and clearly I'm a different type of cat, right? They put me in a category where all of the other people were doing like drama. It's like my dad raped me, my mom died at a young age, blah, blah, blah. Like every single piece was somebody doing like a tear-jerking thing. But the piece that I chose for my senior year, they finally let me do something that I really liked. I did a piece called My Butt. It was a Saturday Night Live skit by Dana Carvey, who was impersonating George Michael, and how everything was about his butt. And I think I started the beginning of the piece with, like, my ass up in the air on the table, like, look at my butt! As people are, like, wiping the tears out of their faces from hearing somebody talk about, like, just the most god-awful tragedy that they acted out. Vetus! Purgatorus! Good evening. Maynard is in there yelling, and I don't fucking know why. God damn. I have not been feeling good all day. I almost called off the show. I barely made it here, but you know what? I'm feeling a hell of a lot better now, so we might actually get a show. You can see... Oh, I thought Smokey was in the box. Hold on. Here's the socks. Very unhappy. Everybody come in here. Maynard. Hoagie just went by. Everybody's gathering around. What, buddy? I know you got food in your bowl. I saw it. I saw it earlier. I still need to pack a bong. All right. Because even though I haven't been feeling good, I did indeed put a show together for you guys, and I think it's a banger, by the way. Here is your meme of the day. He's still passed out from celebrating all this freedom that we don't actually have. When we were watching the fireworks last night, and one of the singers was singing about, you know, let freedom ring or whatever the fuck. And I had a line of fucking cop cars outside my window, and I was afraid to hit my bong while I'm listening to the fucking awesome concert about freedom in this country. The irony was not lost on me. The ironing lost on its way back from the cleaners. Anyone ever made that joke? Surely that one seems too obvious. Yeah, I love that the Eagle's been drinking a Bud too. Clearly the Eagle didn't get the memo that Bud is not the beverage of patriots anymore. At least according to Kid Rock. This woman, I'm in these political Facebook groups. I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. I mean, you guys know me. I do a show called The Troll Patrol. This woman was arguing with me, and she was like, well, Kid Rock has more money than you. And I'm like, fucking Kid Rock was born rich, ma'am. He's a rich poser from outside of Detroit. Posing as a fake redneck, as this fucking everyman fucking character to try to appeal to idiots. Whereas I am a real redneck from the hills of Appalachia. I am not posing. I actually am from a trailer. That's not true. I have not lived in a trailer. Not denigrating anybody that lives in a trailer. My parents and the time that I grew up in was an anomaly. My parents were poor before the 90s, and my parents were poor after the 90s. During the 90s, when I happened to be junior high, high school, we had a little period where, you know, Mom test drove a Mercedes. And we thought we were upper class white people. And we weren't. We weren't at all. You get up into the late 90s, though, and people did pretty well at the time. There was a faux sense. Good times were here to stay. Clearly, that was not the case. We're going to talk about an Iranian ship which fired on oil tankers. The U.S. Navy apparently tried to intervene. This raises tensions in the Middle East. So, fun. As if we needed that as well. A landfill in Mexico. Its collapse was so massive that it actually buried the crane and crane operator that was working the site. Of course, it is July 5th in the United States, so of course, another mass shooting has happened. My mom did not steal a Mercedes. She test drove a Mercedes before deciding to go with the tricked out Monte Carlo. She instead of getting a Mercedes, got like the top of the line Monte Carlo, leather seats. They're heated. She had a sunroof. It had a CD. I mean, we're talking like 97, 98. It had a fucking CD player. That was the height of luxury to me. Oh, I'm sorry, Venus. Sucks. I think a lot of us were raised as what do they get? Latchkey kids. My parents weren't home a lot up until my mom became bedridden when I was in high school, so she was home all the time after that. Honestly, it was, and it was like my mom's dream car too. Like, it had everything she wanted. It was like everything she had ever wanted in a vehicle. And that's why, as I told you, she became bedridden a couple years later. And it was when she got that Monte Carlo, like, she started having problems with her hand, and she couldn't shift into, like, it wasn't a manual, but you know, it had the little gear shifter to shift into drive in the console, and she couldn't press in the button on it anymore. That's like when she first started going to doctors and realizing she had a problem and they couldn't diagnose it. Yeah. My mom's a lot better. She's had a double knee, double hip replacement. She gets around fine now. But she was pretty bad off there. It was about 10 years, really. A good decade of her life. And I hate that for her, right? Because it was probably like her like 40s to 50s. Early 40s to early 50s that she was pretty much incapacitated. And you know, to miss out on, because I'm getting ready to be 40, and to miss out on, like, I feel like the 40s are going to be my 40s. My 40s are going to be probably my best decade, I would assume, just because I'm going to be the most financially stable. Yeah, those are some of your best years, and especially for my mom, because you know, she's not but just a few years removed from building, buying a lot and building her dream home, bought her dream car, had a nice home in the suburbs. We're talking, this is like 98. Fucking probably had a good little nest egg for retirement and shit. Then she becomes like debilitated. My dad's drug problem gets really bad. He gets fired from all kinds of jobs all in a row. Like, it all comes crashing down, and it hurts inside. Dun, 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 dun. Why am I talking about this? We got to find out what that news be doing. Why you guys get me off on personal stories? Especially, like, I'm still estranged with my mom, and it's like, it's not from a lack of trying. She did not call me on my birthday. Anyway. Mass shootings. We had mass shooting. At least one. And I got an update on some others. You're never going to believe the motive that the mass shooter in Philadelphia gave. Apparently, he said he was trying to help the police with the problem of gun violence. Marjorie Taylor Greene accused said shooter of being a trans person. Spoiler alert, they are not. Greene also accused Congresswoman Cori Bush of funding a white Nazi army white congressman from Georgia accuses black congresswoman from Missouri of funding a white Nazi army. Use the other side of that of what you're guilty of. Republican Party tweeted out about Independence Day yesterday, because they are the party of patriots, you know. They included the wrong country's flag in their tweet about Independence Day. Because right-wingers are morons. Mary Jane! Fuck Nazis! I'm just rambling. I've just been rambling, getting high, running down what we're going to be talking about. I've got some wild stories for you guys tonight. So, there was this Proud Boy in North Carolina. Turns out he was a convicted sex offender. So, the Proud Boys were going around protesting drag shows in the name of protecting children. Man who was a convicted sex offender. We're going to read about a trip to the Moms for Liberty Summit. The reporter describing what she saw inside of the Moms for Liberty Summit. The story of a teacher getting fired in Georgia. An excellent example of how the right is very fond of censorship, trying to shut down people who don't agree with them. Don't let it be said that I don't cover the other side of this as well. 2 news directors in Michigan were fired over their comments of Pride coverage. Was that an attempt to censor them? You can hear what they had to say and make up your own minds. Republicans in Georgia are suing over the state's election board rejecting their candidate. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan has thoughts on the U.S. election system. Joe Rogan has thoughts on trans athletes. Lance Armstrong also has thoughts on trans athletes. Joe Rogan has thoughts on Dylan Mulvaney. And Bud Light, in their attempt to get back in the good graces of conservatives, have pissed them off yet again with their 4th of July message. An Australian conservative is accusing a zoo of faking having gay penguins. This is actually a story I was going to do the other night. It was on the thumbnail. There was a rainbow penguin on the thumbnail, but we didn't get around to that story because it started storming. The Daily Wire assembled their brightest minds. I would assume like the 4 or 5 of them still couldn't change a fucking light bulb. They got together for one of their backstage events where they all get together and they smoke and drink and they talk politics. They got opinions on Lizzo. Just the irony and the lack of self-awareness of these dumbass right-wingers. The Reds hilariously interrupted a somber Taylor Swift song during one of her concert stops. Apparently there was a mishap with the Cubs and Brewers last night, leading to 2 ejections and an embarrassing mistake. I have no idea, but we've got video and we're going to watch it. Pastor has put a curse. See, this is the kind of... If I was doing the Troll Patrol in like the mid-2000s, I feel like there'd be a lot less news to talk about. Wasn't as many crazy... There was crazy people. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like there would be a lot more... The show would be filled with a lot more stories like this. Pastor puts a curse on the new Barbie movie. I feel like that was a lot more... That's the kind of fodder for a show. You know, we're coming to the end. We want something fun to laugh at. That's the kind of fodder I like. I don't want to have to break down Joe Rogan doing a transphobia on his show with apparently Ice Cube, who I have a shit ton of respect for. So I hope Ice Cube pushes back on Joe Rogan, because Ice Cube really good on issues of criminal justice, systematic racism. Rogan absolutely is a douchebag. One Nut Lance has thoughts, and we're gonna hear them. And we're gonna laugh at him too. We're gonna laugh at him because it's funny. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol Live. What's up, bitches? I'm not high enough for this shit. Let me hit this bong, then we'll find out what this news be doing. I guess about 20 minutes. I take 20 minutes at the opening of the show, right? That seems to be the thing. There's Smokey in the box. The news starts about 20 minutes in, I guess. I do a 20-minute billboard at the top. Here's what I'm thinking. If and when Twitch comes back, we're going to do Tuesday, Thursdays Twitch. We're going to do 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Twitch. And it'll be just like an exclusive Twitch show. And it won't stay up. I'll put it on Patreon for my patrons. And they get the extra like 2 hours of content. I think that's a good idea. And then I get to have a presence on Twitch. And on those 2 days, I'll promote, hey, the Troll Patrol is live at 8 p.m. Eastern, yada, yada. That's what I'm thinking. I'm liking that idea. And I'll do random streams at night sometimes and play video games and shit. That's why I do the countdown. Like I had somebody comment on the YouTube. It was like, "Oh, this countdown's stupid." I'm like, "You're watching on YouTube. You can just fast forward. It's got the exact minute down there at the bottom. You can just fast forward 5 minutes. It's pretty easy. Gives everybody a chance to get in here." I do not have Twitch back yet, but I have a person on the inside. And they swear they're working their hardest for me. I have a person that knows a person. And they swear to me they are doing everything they can to get my Twitch back. I'm holding out hope because it still says it's pending. I don't know how it works over there at Twitch. Apparently they've had a lot of turnover recently. That's what she's telling me, that some of her higher contacts aren't there anymore. So she's dealing with somebody who doesn't have the power to overturn it. And they are like, it's a 3 or 4 people I'm going through here. I'm 2 Kevin Bacons away. No, I'm 1 Kevin Bacon away from the person at Twitch. But they're not powerful enough. Exactly. Just like Frank, I got a guy. And I do. I kind of have a guy for everything. I do be doing that. I've got a guy. Oh shit. Apparently I don't know whose shaft I gotta grease. But that is my plan. There will be some content on Tuesday, Thursday, like 7 to 8 o'clock that will lead into the actual Troll Patrol, like Twitch exclusive Troll Patrol for that hour, just to promote the show coming up and get some other content out there. Justin, good evening. God, I'm so glad to see all of you. Q Cuckf. How am I supposed? I'm just gonna call you Q. Let me look at your name somewhere. QK Cuff. DJ Dub D. Even better with the D. Dropping that D on us. Everybody got here just in time. Let's find out what that news be doing. Iran trying to attack some oil tankers off the Gulf of Oman.
A showdown between the U.S. and Iran in international waters. Defense officials say the U.S. Navy stopped Iran from seizing 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. It's a crucial waterway. Iran apparently at one.
What did I say? Did I not say Oman?
Those tankers. Our Oren.
Did I say Oman?
At the Pentagon. Oren. This was a hot exchange,
Flash.
the military might call it, with live fire. Tell us what we know what happened here.
It is, and that's what makes this more of a
Come on by and hang out, Flash.
concerning to the Defense Department as it watches what happened here. And this
I know this dude from somewhere, and I don't like him. We've done something with this dude in the past, and I've bitched about, like, I just don't like his face.
is out in 2 separate incidents within a very short time span in the Gulf of Oman. As you point out, a critical waterway in the Middle East. One with the Strait of Hormuz lets out.
I don't think I did anal with him, though. You never know.
You live in sexual anarchy.
He's not really my type, though. I have been like, I've come across a couple of like zaddies here lately that I'm like, all right. I'm usually into young Twinkie guys when I'm cruising the guys. I like feminine guys. But here lately, there's been some zaddies that have been like, all right, let's see what you working with. I saw this one dude on Grindr the other night. I'm just like, you look like you got a nice dick. And he showed it to me, and I'm like, yeah, it is a really nice dick. No, Libertad. No. Oh, wait a minute. You missed the scat. Yes. I was asking where you were earlier because I was talking about I'm having a health issue. And yeah, it's right up your alley. It's that kind of an issue. And fucking A, new season of Sunny. You know I've been on that shit. Fucking Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul were guest stars last week. And like Bryan Cranston being Aaron Paul's little bitch. And the gang keeps calling him keeps calling Aaron Paul Malcolm and Malcolm's dad. Charlie comes up with a drink called Nickelschlager. It's for the common man. Oh, no corn. I had salad. That's what I thought. I was having a heart attack last night, but it turns out it was probably just gas. You can't get me started on Sunny. I fucking love Sunny. It's one like my favorite show of all time. Maybe Seinfeld, Sunny. I don't Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's one of those 3. Fucking South Park. Goddamn. Those are my top echelon. I'm behind on Righteous Gemstones and Barry right now. Like Barry just went off. I need to watch the last season of it. I'm behind on Archer. Oh, I'm sorry, Clinically. Yeah. You're right. we're trying to provoke a war with Iran now. In case you guys hadn't heard.
Defense officials say the U.S. Navy stopped Iran from seizing 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. It's a crucial waterway. Iran apparently at one point fired at one of those tankers. Our Oren Lieberman is at the Pentagon. Oren, this was a hot exchange, as the military might call it. With
I just don't like his face. His smug aura mocks me.
It is, and that's what makes this more of a warning and more concerning to the Defense Department as it watches what happened here. And this plays out in 2 separate incidents within a very short time span in the Gulf of Oman. As you point out, a critical waterway in the Middle East, one the Strait of Hormuz lets out into as you're heading into the Arabian Sea, where a large portion of the world's oil goes through. So that gives you an idea of the significance of this waterway. At about 1 a.m. local time in the Gulf of Oman, the U.S. Navy says an Iranian Navy ship approached a commercial oil tanker, and according to the U.S. Navy, approached in a way that led the Navy to believe it was attempting to seize this oil tanker, an action that Iran has done in the past, and that perhaps why the U.S. Navy intervened here. A U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer approached these 2 ships, and it was during that time, as the U.S. Navy destroyer approached, that the Iranian vessel changed course and headed away from the incident. But that wasn't the end of this. Only 3 hours later, according to the Navy, this plays out. The video you're seeing now, that is another Iranian Navy vessel approaching a separate oil tanker, once again in international waters off the Gulf of Oman. This time, the Iranian Navy vessel draws closer and, according to the Navy, opens fire with small arms fire, hitting that tanker there in several points. Nobody was injured on the tanker, according to the U.S. Navy, but those bullets struck close to the living quarters on board that tanker. Another one of the reasons the U.S. was very concerned about this. The same destroyer, the USS McFall, responded to this one as well. This time there was a distress call coming from that oil tanker.
But what was Iran's claim to those tankers? Clearly, our position is that they were in international waters. Were they passing into Iran? Does Iran think that they could possibly have something that threatened them? That this is that they're not actually oil tankers? That the U.S. is trying to do something? This doesn't make any sense to me. This sounds sus.
And that's why the USS McFall headed towards the scene as quickly as it could at full speed.
They probably are owed taxes, to be honest, clinically.
Course and heads away from the scene.
Listen, a crucial choke point, of course, for oil going through the strait here. I wonder, was there a direct conflict between the U.S. and Iranian warships here?
Not a direct conflict. The U.S. Navy did not open fire in this case. According to the Navy, it was only the Iranian Navy that opened fire.
It is indeed sus.
At the oil
this
tanker.
dude's
that,
sus.
Of course, in and of itself, enough to concern the U.S. and why it saw the need to get involved. Also worth pointing out that the oil tanker put out that distress call, and the U.S. Navy specifically has boosted its presence in the region for this very reason, having seen in the past multiple attempts by Iran to either harass or seize commercial shipping vessels. According to the U.S. Navy, since 2021, Iranian Navy vessels and the IRGC have tried this about 20 times to either seize, harass, or in other way interfere with commercial shipping vessels. And I just got the notification that we have stills of the bullet holes on board this oil tanker, the Richmond Voyager. And this
Did he look at his phone?
Damage to the vessel there, that very near the living quarters here. Again, another reason I should say, why the U.S. Navy is concerned about this. Worth going back to late April, early May, and within just days.
I will agree with you guys that CNN is sus, and it's always very good to put into context the sources that we are watching. The reason I chose this was because it had fantastic video. And he ended up getting like the stills
of each other. There were 2 separate seizures.
I can endorse the punching.
Commercial vessels by Iranian ships, and that's when the U.S. military bolstered its presence in the region with ships and with aircraft. Jim.
Yeah. And we should, of course, note on a civilian vessel such as that, it's not going to be armored in any way, so it wouldn't be hardened against that kind of gunfire. But before we let you go,
of course,
does the U.S. know whether this is an attempt to seize or harass or both? I mean, does the U.S. have an assessment as to what Iran is trying to accomplish here?
The U.S. sees these both as attempted seizures, and although there was no distress signal in the first incident, there was in the second one. And according to the U.S. Navy, the Iranian Navy vessel there had hailed the Richmond Voyager, the oil tanker you see there, and ordered it to stop. So the U.S. Navy sees this as an attempted seizure, one in which it interceded to prevent.
No question. And of course, the danger always escalation, particularly if you would have U.S. and Iranian forces confronting each other directly. Oren Lieberman at the Pentagon, certainly going to stay on top of it.
Did I call it Oman at the beginning? Is that why everybody corrected me that it was Oman? Call me a lib. I'm definitely more institutional than I would say most people in the chat are. And that just comes from, working in news for years. I've had pizza in the governor's basement, Kentucky. I knew Mitch McConnell. I knew Jim Bunning at the time. Omen. Governor of Florida? You think I could win in Florida? I don't know if Florida is a state I could win in. I could win mayor in some weird town somewhere, probably. I don't think I could ever win a statewide office anywhere. Well, when I was in the governor's mansion having pizza in the basement, that was that's code. He did end up covering up a murder. That governor was shady. But this was a long time before that. Not story time though, it's news time. Mexico landfill collapse was so massive that it buried a crane and its operator. I thought there was a video with this, so motherfuckers, let's get a video, because there's bound to be video of a Mexican landfill collapse. Show it to us. What's this shit look like? Is there no video? Goddamn. I don't know how something happens in 2023 in any country and there's not video. Fuzzy face. Good evening. I will tell you, I know for a fact that there were judges that were cokeheads. Maybe not while I was doing news at the time, but they were before I started doing news in their younger years. Know it for a fact. Was told the same story by numerous people. That's how you confirm a story. Rescuers said on Wednesday that a collapse and landslide at a garbage dump north of Mexico City was so massive that it buried a crane and its operator. The Civil Defense Office in the Mexico City suburb of Naucalpan said the crane operator and his crane are still missing after a hillside collapsed at a landfill on Tuesday. Marines, police, and rescue workers continued the search for the man. On Wednesday, it was not immediately clear what triggered the cave-in. The landfill was subsequently ordered closed by environmental authorities. I said that weird. Environmental. Now I'm self-conscious about it. Yes, this fucking story is wild, so I shouldn't be getting tripped up on how I'm saying environmental. Apparently because it wasn't operating with the proper safeguards. Overfilled and overcapacity landfills have been a recurring problem in Mexico. They frequently accept more garbage than they can be safely contained or covered with dirt, leaving noxious runoff leaching into local bodies of water. Naucalpan has a particularly severe problem with the dumping of construction rubble, given the large number of apartment buildings being built in the suburbs. The Nalcopan city government closed 8 illegal dumps on Tuesday and said it had found 30 such illegal dumps since the beginning of 2022, and estimated there could be as many as 100. Suggested the dumps may be run by criminals, noting these spaces are guarded by armed men. Some landowners actually welcome the illegal dumping of rubble in gulches and gullies to even out otherwise unbuildable land. Jesus. See if I can get us video or at least pictures of that come tomorrow. It is another, well, the state government in Mexico has been pretty progressive. AMLO has been a rather progressive president. So hopefully they do take action. To even the land out, yeah. They thought it was a good idea to even the land out. Because I'm sure they wanted to develop it. That was the what they probably got paid for the dumping. So they're like, it's a win-win. We'll even the land out. We'll get paid for it, and then we'll turn around and we'll sell it. Blah, blah, blah. You have to have guardrails against greed and everything. Now it is July the 5th here in these United States. You know what that means? I'm asking, it's a day that ends in Y in the United States. This is the least funny joke I have ever come up with. I hate. It is one of my most endearing jokes. Enduring. Not endearing, enduring. Jokes. And I hate it. It pains me to have to fucking drive that into the ground. Now, like, we've got the meme in the Discord, like, say the line, Justin. Just another day. So this time we're going to a suburb of Boston.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu had an event here. We just spoke with her a short time ago. We also just got an update from BPD regarding this shooting where 5 people were shot, and Boston police now saying 3 individuals were taken into custody. Let's show you the video from overnight. This all happening around 2 a.m. on River Street in Edgewater Drive in Mattapan, where neighbors say there was a large gathering of people shooting off illegal fireworks. Boston police say they were called around 2 a.m. for reports of a shooting, finding a massive crime scene that has left neighbors outraged and shaken.
Every day I get out of my house, I care. I gotta care. Because I don't want to die.
I'm very grateful that our first responders acted quickly, that there were weapons recovered there, and we anticipate that there will be some accountability for multiple individuals who were involved.
Now, Boston police have not shared any details about how this shooting occurred, only saying that they have 3 defendants, 2 males and 1 female, and that they will be arraigned this afternoon. Reporting live in Roxbury, Matt Reed, WCVB News Center 5.
There you go. There's the local news hit on the mass shooting overnight. At least nobody was killed in that one. Not the case in Fort Worth, where we now have video of the crowd. This is from a night or 2 ago at this point. I've lost track whether it was Tuesday night or Monday night, Sunday night. It's every night. I hate that joke. I hate that I came up with that, and that, like, it was funny the first couple of times. It's not funny. It's not funny. I cracked a joke the other day. I was like, what are we at? 400 shootings? I looked it up and we were at 396. Clinically might have looked it up in the chat. I think it was clinically looked it up. Someone looked it up in the chat. And another source had like 340 something, I believe. It is an absurd number.
11 people were shot. 3 of them died from the gunfire after a block party last night in Fort Worth. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The victims were part of a crowd gathered.
I always hate that. You come on, like 3 people are dead, 10 people shot. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm JustinFREAKIN. What's going on? Then again, that's what I do here on the Troll Patrol, isn't it?
In the Como neighborhood following the Como Fest Independence Day celebration. Police have said very little about this investigation, and they have not released any suspect descriptions. And the limited response by city leaders after 3 people were murdered and 8 more wounded has frustrated some communities, especially bringing a match after this event 2 years
cops
ago.
do anything?
Had the chief on scene and informing the public. Times have changed. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is in Fort Worth, where she talked with a family of 1 murder victim today. Peyton?
Even it's still unclear how many shooters there were. No arrests at this time, according to Fort Worth police. But police tell us they're still trying to comb through surveillance video, cell phone video, and flock camera video to figure out exactly what led up to this shooting.
Wait, run! Run! Oh my God!
Cell phone video captures the chaos in West Fort Worth's Como neighborhood Monday evening.
Oh my God! I can't help!
Police say just before midnight, multiple people opened fire where a crowd was gathered off Horn Street.
She's just cussing up a storm. They're having to censor her.
The shooting took place about an hour and a half after Como Fest ended, a community celebration to kick off July 4th. Surveillance video obtained by Fox 4 shows a mass of people running and ducking for cover once gunfire erupted. On the 2 people shield a child from the gunshots up against the Como Food Mart. The wounded were rushed to hospitals in both private vehicles and ambulances.
So I ran this way because I knew my boys were on this end.
Tuesday afternoon, Kadesha Weatherly sat next to the spot where her son, 18-year-old Paul Timothy Willis, was shot and killed. The mother of 2 was at the shooting scene last night.
They didn't even let my baby make it to college. I just want them to remember his name, not just an 18-year-old victim, and the young lady as well. Her name should be said.
22-year-old Cynthia Santos was also killed. Her family tells Fox 4 she came to celebrate July 4th with her friend.
Where you at?
One woman did her frantic route to safety. Screams are heard from victims before more gunshots.
You good? Oh my God! Oh my God!
A motive is still unclear. Fort Worth PD provided a written update on the investigation Tuesday, saying several unknown males started firing and then took off. Overnight, a Fort Worth police captain offered a brief on-camera update.
We don't know if this is domestic related, if it's gang related. It's too early to at this point.
Instead of calling for a day of mourning,
The news report, which has that's fantastic video. That's the reason why I got this news report. But it keeps cutting in and out. I don't think it's the YouTube. I think it's on their end. I think it's in the video. It sounded like there was a gunshot behind the cop as he was talking.
Camera update.
We don't know if this is domestic related, if it's gang related. It's too early to at this point.
Was I wrong? He didn't even flinch.
We're going along with business as usual.
Community activist Kiev Tatum critical of the lack of a more visible public response from city leaders. The gun violence is similar to a mass shooting 2 years ago following the same 4th of July event. That time, 8 people were wounded. And the police chief did come to the shooting scene to provide updates to keep citizens informed.
We're committed to resolving the problems in our community. No doubt about it. But the reality
I believe that's a sign that we're becoming desensitized.
Not up for this challenge.
And Fort Worth Mayor Maddie Parker did release a statement today saying her heart breaks for the victims, their loved ones, and the entire Como community that works to build positivity and celebration in their community and also their city. Now, we're still waiting for the third victim to be identified.
Yeah, it could have been a microphone popping or something.
Shot and survived. They were taken to 3 different area hospitals, and they are recovering this evening. Steve?
Or possibly a firework.
Peyton, thanks.
It is 4th of July. It could have been a firework. If you guys didn't show up last night, you missed out. We saw Chicago perform. Belinda Carlisle, the Go-Go's, Boys to Men. That's how we celebrated America on the National Mall with a concert. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Warlord complained. This happened in California, I believe it is. You're going to see video of shoppers running for cover after a police pursuit ends in a mall plaza.
People run for their lives in a California shopping center following a police pursuit.
I was just set up there on the sidewalk just trying to sell my art, and then this car just crashed into that other car and then just drove full speed into my car that was parked behind my table.
This is aerial video of what police say went down. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Office says it was in pursuit of the driver in a white Mercedes, wanted for a reported felony. The car could be seen driving recklessly and swerving in and out of traffic. The chase came to an end when the driver hit a Volkswagen Beetle. After the crash, the suspects were seen running into the shopping center.
People just dropped everything, kind of mad rush. Some people ran into stores.
Then all of a sudden, someone screamed, "Get down, get in the back, lock the door." And us and about another 20 people all ran out of the back of the restaurant into the hallway, had no clue what was happening.
Law enforcement then began a search through the plaza for the suspects. Reportedly, the suspects are still at large. This is Inside Edition Digital.
I thought about putting the Fox News story where they're like, Hunter Biden was at the White House the other day, cocaine was found, yuck, yuck. And in the end, I was just like, I don't feel good, and I don't feel like doing that bullshit. There's no new update about the cocaine at the White House, except that it has definitely been tested and is definitely cocaine. We know that for sure. It's cocaine. Content warning. This sounds like something I should have the Benny Hill music behind, but it also sounds really tragic, so I don't know. A man stole a forklift from Lowe's and then went to Home Depot and ran over a woman.
This really is a shocking and bizarre story that involves 2 home improvement stores. The Charles County Sheriff's Office confirming with News 4 that the man who allegedly stole the forklift from the Lowe's was an employee at the store, and he brought it to this Home Depot, which is just about a half-mile away. Investigators say that man drove into this parking lot and found a car. Instead of
red versus blue, it's blue versus orange. We got some blue on orange violence over here. The dude at Lowe's was like, I'm not gonna let Home Depot take over this fucking turf.
Car was parked here. He rammed the forklift into that car. A woman was asleep inside the car. She tried to get out and run away. Investigators say the man then ran her over with the forklift and killed her.
This is absolutely a tragic story. It's bizarre. We don't know why the suspect did this. We're still trying to figure that out. I don't know if we'll ever get an answer. The victim wasn't doing anything but...
Was he dead?
Vehicle.
The sheriff's office says 20-year-old Bryce Brown ran over 73-year-old Gloristine Pinkney. Then officers say Brown took off in the victim's car.
There is no evidence that the victim and suspect knew each other. This appears to be a random attack, and again, for reasons that are not clear.
Investigators say the Lowe's was closed when Brown broke in and stole the forklift. He fled by ramming through some rear gates. Officers first responded to the Lowe's and after canvassing the area found the forklift and Pinckney in the nearby Home Depot parking lot. Late Sunday night, detectives were able to track down Brown.
And once we got...
But like, okay, he rammed her car with a forklift and then drove off in it? He didn't do enough damage to like fuck it up? I'm very confused. Home Depot, my sworn enemy. Oh, this isn't funny though. This is a tragic story. I'm just your purveyor of the weirdest goddamn news stories from across the country. That's what I like to do.
Canvassing the area found the forklift and Pinckney in the nearby Home Depot parking lot. Late Sunday night, detectives were able to track down Brown.
And once we got enough information to positively identify him, we were able to arrest him. And based on that, we were able to locate the victim's car, which was parked in a nearby neighborhood.
Brown is facing murder, assault, and theft charges.
I bet.
In Waldorf, Mauricio Casillas, News 4.
Thanks for watching.
Shut up, Lester. Nobody wants to talk to you, sir. I've been saving this one, been holding off on it because it's going to be the transition into politics here. We got one more mass shooting update. Shelley, good evening. And that brings up another bag of worms, bag of potatoes. I don't know what the euphemism is, or the idiom. If there's a 70-something-year-old woman sleeping in her car, was she doing it because she had to work soon or something? Was she napping in between shifts? Why is a 70-year-old woman sleeping in her car? That's yet another tragedy of the United States. She might have been homeless. She might have been waiting for somebody. My first thought was like in between shifts at multiple jobs or something. Bag of trolley. Strap in for this one. Accused Philly mass shooter offered a baffling motive. Kimberly Carker, 40 years old, appeared in court on Wednesday to face more than 30 charges stemming from the Monday night massacre. This is Kim Brady. The shooter, accused of gunning down 5 people in southwest Philadelphia on Monday night in seemingly random rampage, later claimed he only intended to lend a hand to cops in tackling gun violence. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, who reported it on Wednesday, after first commending officers for arresting him, Kim Brady Carker told cops his gunfire was meant to help police address the city's gun violence crisis because all these guys are out there killing people. Wielding an AR-15 style assault rifle. Wielding an AR-15 style assault rifle and a handgun, Carker wore a bulletproof vest and a ski mask as he shot aimlessly at people in the street or in their car across multiple blocks in the city's Kensington. I don't believe what he's saying, or he's clearly got issues. The Kingsessing's neighborhood. The 40-year-old allegedly carried multiple magazines of ammunition. Sounded premeditated. No, he killed 5 people. He injured like 30 others. This was a massacre. King's Essing, I believe. And he had a police scanner. Arrested after on a foot chase. Once pulled in for questioning, Carker told detectives that Yahweh, a Hebrew name for God, he might be a black Israelite, and those people are fucking nuts. Yahweh would send more people to help, but he reportedly didn't elaborate when asked for more information. Carker was hit with a slew of charges at his arraignment on Wednesday, totaling more than 30 counts for murder, attempted murder, and illegal gun possession, among other offenses. Court records show he is being held without bail. And I do believe when we watched the local news hit, I think they said 3 of the people that were injured were in critical condition. Damn it, Cupid J! I called it right here on this very stream. I was like, if their very first episode doesn't talk about Kanye, I don't see gay. And I want a gay fish to pop up. Gay fish is my favorite episode. That fucking cracks me up. And I never liked Bill Hader on SNL. I just found his characters to be stupid. But then I found out like he was the head writer on the Gay Fish episode, which is my favorite fucking episode of South Park. It's just Kanye not being aware and the whole Carlos Mencia thing. They found him with fish sticks stuffed down his open neck hole. They breaded. Oh my god, I love their depiction. Like, if I had to pick like a second favorite episode, it'd probably be Mickey Mouse. And was like the Jonas Brothers episode. And all the girls like go backstage. And like, we're not gonna give you blowjobs. Like, just as soon as they come out, like they're it cracks me up. And then Mickey comes out like, oh. I'm gonna bitch about something, and I'm sorry to have to bitch about this. So I'd never played Kingdom Hearts. I've been going through and playing Kingdom Hearts, and I played 1 and 2. And I finished 2 just a couple months ago, and I started 3 just recently. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in like 2007, 2006, 2007, somewhere around there. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out in like 2017. I was just playing Kingdom Hearts 2 and then started playing Kingdom Hearts 3, so there's like no time in between the two of them. And it's a different Mickey Mouse. It's a different Mickey Mouse in 3. It's like the dude that does it for Disney now. Whereas like in the other 2 games, it's like my childhood Mickey Mouse. Like it's like the Mickey Mouse voice to me. I know it's like not the Mickey Mouse voice. But it was just jarring, and he doesn't do the ha. Now he's grown on me. It was just jarring at first, but like now that I've got to hear him, and like got used to it, I'm like, all right, I like. There's some nuances to his performance I really dig about Mickey, but he doesn't do the ha. And I miss the ha. And I talked to Curiouser about it because she got the granddaughter, and she said the same thing. He's like, he doesn't do the ha. The only thing I miss is the no notes, but that one. Give me. You don't have to do it all the time. Just throw one in every now and again. Please. But the game was very jarring because a lot of the voice actors are different. Still the same Goofy. Like, it's still my childhood Goofy playing Goofy, so that's cool. Disney fell indeed. I know, like, do you have kids, Dustin? And, like, do you have kids around you? Do you ever, like, watch any of the new Mickey shit? Notice it. He don't do the fucking, ha ha. Oh my god. And then the fucking episode where they're smoking the pot outside of, like, fucking meeting with Xi Jinping. Me too, Dustin. I have cats. And they're smoking the joint, and Mickey's like bitching about Xi Jinping, and he's like, "This is some really good shit." Oh my, Venus, that is one of my favorite scenes. Spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it. Randy Marsh kills Winnie the Pooh, and the scene where he does it, like he's looking at Piglet and like staring Piglet to like fucking choking Pooh out with like piano wire or something, but is staring Piglet down. But the way the camera is placed, he's staring at the camera. He's staring you in the eyes as he's choking the life out of Winnie the Pooh. And it's just one of the most hilarious things. Because he's so stoic about it. And like Pooh like, oh. It's just little shit like that cracks me the fuck up. Oh. Lightyear wasn't bad, eh? What is the new Pixar movie about elves? I don't even know. Like fucking Battle of Possum tells me about like the kids movies and shit. Tells me which ones are good. I'm like, all right, yeah. Like I'll watch that maybe at some point in time. What do you want, Cat? Oh, we got news to be doing. I just told you about the mass shooter in Philadelphia that claimed that he was doing it. And I'm using the correct pronouns. He was doing it to try to help the police with gun violence. Marjorie Taylor Greene used the incident to fuel a right-wing conspiracy theory that trans people are doing a whole bunch of mass shootings. The suspect has not been named publicly, according to, well, at the time had been not named. Oh, not been named publicly by police. Okay. But multiple news outlets have identified him as 40-year-old Kim Brady Carker. He was taken into custody by police and was denied bail. Marjorie Taylor Greene said, and another trans shooter, Chaya Ratchik, who's also an evil person. I don't know who Robbie Starbuck is, but he also... This is a picture they're tweeting out. And this is proof that he was trans. There is no indication that he was trans. This is an old mugshot. Well, I thought we had right-wing. Chaya Ratchik had tweeted that out as well. Some conservatives have sought to link link transitioning genders to mass shootings, citing the transgender shooter who killed 6 people at a Christian elementary school in Nashville in March, and the mass shooting at a Colorado Springs gay nightclub, though in the latter instance there is some doubt about the veracity of the shooter's assertion that they are non-binary. A lot of doubt, according to the Associated Press, and it's anecdotal. I mean, how many of these fucking mass shooters have been Nazis? The overwhelming majority of them. According to the Associated Press, there's been no incredible rise in mass shootings perpetrated by transgender shooters. On the contrary, transgender people are 4 times more likely to be the victims of violent crime. Murders of transgender people nearly doubled between 2017 and 2021. That's right, DJ. The numbers don't math. That math don't work, brother.
You take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of
Marjorie
winning.
Taylor Greene's a fucking idiot. Scott Steiner owned a Shoney's in Georgia, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is a congresswoman from Georgia. Congresswoman from Georgia accused Cori Bush of voting to fund white Nazi armies of Ukraine. Apparently, after she tweeted out about reparations, far-right Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene on Tuesday blasted, I take issue with far-left Representative Cori Bush for calling for reparations while voting in favor of sending billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine. The Declaration of Independence was written by enslavers and didn't recognize black people as human. Today is a great day to demand reparations now, Bush tweeted on Tuesday with a black fist emoji. Good on her. Greene responded to her colleague by implying that the Progressive Squad lawmaker was a hypocrite because of her support for funding the Ukrainian military in the war against invading Russian forces. In the process of bashing Bush, the Georgia Republican also attacked the Ukrainian armed forces, referring to its members as Nazis. Just stop. You voted to send $113 billion to the white people and white Nazi army of Ukraine. Greene made a similar claim last week in a tweet aimed at Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. I didn't put it on the docket tonight, but Warlord mentioned it earlier. Ukraine is they are messaging about Russia possibly doing something to sabotage the nuclear power plant. I'm skeptical of those claims, but that has been an issue that Ukraine has been going on about over the last couple of days. Since the beginning of the war, they've talked about that power plant. Apparently, their fears of Russia doing something to sabotage it have intensified, and I do not know the veracity of those claims or the merit behind them. Maybe we need to check in with Russia come tomorrow. Perhaps we can get General Breedlove. Give us an update on what is going on in Ukraine and the aggression with Russia. Yes, she's a member of the squad. The Republican Party has been mocked for their Independence Day tweet, where they tweeted out the flag of the wrong country. Because right-wingers are morons. The Republican Party is being called out on social media after it shared the flag of the wrong country in a post to mark the 4th of July. 247 years ago, our forefathers told old King George to get lost. Happy Independence Day from the GOP, read the deleted tweet, with a photo of the flag of Liberia attached alongside. Oh, do we not have the picture? Let's get a different browser then. I don't see the flag in their tweet. Pumpkin Spice, good evening. Am I missing it? They deleted it, so. Oh, they put it back up. Because if you pay for it, you get the opportunity to edit, right? But they originally had the Liberian flag. Say it for me, Rudy.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
I do think you're all fools. Just like I gotta give you a content warning. The chat has been very adamant about the fact that I cannot show this renowned senator's face without showing a content warning first. So my apologies. You're going to have to hear from Senator Ted Cruz, who claims that we have to listen to their newest whistleblower because he's gay.
The whistleblowers, as I've noted, we have no reason to think they're lying. One of them is a gay Democrat who's married to a man. Both of them are career IRS employees. Neither of them have any indication that they're in any way, shape, or form Republican. And they've come over and risked their entire careers by calling out what appears to be a pattern of felony. The whistleblowers, as
I can't even keep up with what whistleblower we're talking about now. Apparently, the New York Times has confirmed that the IRS did indeed interfere on behalf of Hunter Biden. I have no fucking clue. I saw that from a right-wing source. I did not see that from the New York Times. Here's one for you. You would think that this would be a bigger concern here in this country. In North Carolina, their Proud Boys chapter had a member who was a sex offender, a white supremacist, and a federal informant. I guess it would be this dude right here, but you gotta give him props, like that's some nice hair. Got some nice hair, sir. I'd pet it. Michael Allen Jones, a white supremacist, convicted sex offender, and FBI informant, was a vetted member of the Charlotte, North Carolina Proud Boys chapter. The revelation means that the Proud Boys, an extremist group that has loudly positioned itself as a guardian of public morality by protesting drag shows and other LGBTQ events, failed to properly vet a former member who had been convicted of a sex offense for having sex with a minor. As Raw Story has previously reported, Jones recruited for the white supremacist terror network, The Base, attended rallies with more public-facing white supremacist group Patriot Front, and fought with the police alongside the Proud Boys at the U.S. Capitol on January 6. Following a traffic stop in upstate New York, Jones pleaded guilty in December to being a felon in possession with a gun. He is currently awaiting sentencing. While Jones's involvement by the Proud Boys has been previously reported, his one-time membership in the Charlotte chapter was confirmed last month during an acrimonious public spat on the social media app Telegram, as a mutinous faction pushed aside the chapter's one-time president. Joshua Bollinger, the one-time president of the Charlotte Proud Boys chapter, referenced Jones by his nickname, Strategian, during a marathon exchange of video chats, audio chats, and texts that ran up 250 comments on June 13th. Like he would be the singer in a death metal band or something, possibly. Oh, you're talking about Strategian, the dude that was in fucking Charlotte while you were in Charlotte and went through the same vetting that you went through, I guess, Bollinger said. Are you talking about that guy? That guy that was 19 was sleeping with a 17-year-old? Okay, that's a little... That's a little different than, like, you know... Most states have a 2-year grace period there. If you went to high school with someone, You probably got to cut him some slack. I might be saying that because I might have been in that similar position at one time. Even though, yeah, it is illegal and he shouldn't have been doing it. And that's fucking, to me, gross, but come on, man, you're pulling a stretch. It is depending on the state. I don't like that charge, you know, you want to laugh at, you know, they had a convicted sex offender. And clearly the mother thought he was bad news and pressed charges or what have you. If you could go to high school together, I don't think that's an issue. But that's, once again, that would implicate me. I was 19 and had a 17-year-old girlfriend. She drops by the stream every now and again. She hasn't been by in a while. She messaged me not that long ago. I worked with her dad at the radio station. Well, I mean, he is a convicted sex offender. Okay. That's different. He was apparently mentally handicapped. That is 100% different. I was dating a woman who had all her faculties about her. It was very much consensual, and we were together for like 3 years. If you're taking advantage of a mentally handicapped 17-year-old, then I can't believe I was taken up for him. That changes It changes the whole am I good? Phoebe, are you here? Phoebe's probably asking about the heart attack. Yeah. Well, Ross Story kind of buried the lead there. So, oof. Yeah, fuck that dude and fuck the Proud Boys, but that's the kind of people they associate with. Speaking of far-right nut jobs, hate groups, DeSantis, furries, and Trump merch. Kate Brickett, reporter for the Daily Beast, went to the Moms for Liberty Summit. This should be fun. They believed I was a member of Moms for Liberty, a far-right faction that in just 2 years has skyrocketed to the national spotlight through its parental rights platform and pushed to ban school books. In recent weeks, the Southern Poverty Law Center classified Moms for Liberty as an anti-government extremist group, and one Indiana chapter caught heat for quoting Adolf Hitler on the front page of its newsletter. MomFest backlash had police and private security swarming every corner of the convention, including this particular reception at the Museum of the American Revolution, which was vandalized after resisting pressure to cancel the event. I followed the herd of Moms for Liberty disciples who market themselves as joyful warriors who do not co-parent with the government, past cops and the clamor of protesters who bore colorful signs that read transphobes are not welcome here, no quarter for the Planned Karenhood, I love that name, and Moms for Liberty members do not season their food. Well, the whole mentally handicapped thing adds to the, like, she can't fucking consent. Just like that's, and also it seems very creepy of him. Inside, the mostly white and female crowd, clad in business casual, hovered around a cash bar and hors d'oeuvres, waiting for a dubious history lesson from conservative minister Tim Barton, the son of Texas evangelist and religious right historian David Barton, on how America was founded on religious principles. And the Founding Fathers were against slavery. Wow, the Founding Fathers were against slavery. That's... A lot of right-wingers like to speak of the Founding Fathers as if they were a monolith. Really pisses me off, because the Founding Fathers had debates just like we did. There were abolitionists among the Founding Fathers, yes. They're not the ones you know the names of. Just throwing that out there. But there were a few abolitionists, and their numbers became stronger as we move towards the Civil War. I get really upset, like, oh, the Founding Fathers would have wanted this. And like, I'm sure some of them. There were some nut jobs. It blows my mind. The most influential source for the Founding Fathers was the Bible, Barton lectured. And that is not true. Locke, Hobbes. That's who they cited. Now, I mean, like, people wrote about how if you ran into Thomas Jefferson and talked to him about religious matters, you would have swore that he was a priest. He was that well versed. But that was also like, if you talked to him about the Muslim religion, he would have also been as well versed in it. I can't remember who it was that said it. If you were to talk to him about civics, you would have swore that he was a professor. If you were to talk to him about whatever subject you talked to Thomas Jefferson about, you would have thought that he was a master of it. My ass hurts, sorry. This chair is not the most comfortable. Right wingers are oh, we're not finished with this. Here's some of the Joe and your hoe gotta go. I'm still a Trump gal. Jesus is my savior. Trump is my president. Mama Bear, I can't read what it says. But it used the cocaine bear. Oh my god.
I was on crack.
Right. Well,
Did they have Mikey Lindell there? The media is not your friend. This was in Boston or something, wasn't it? No press or all press. Speak to your audience. Reporters lie, you don't. Flash, I don't know that if you've might have been the Search for QAnon documentary, where but they've had a couple that kind of run together for me. It might have been a January 6th documentary. But somebody goes and they interview, and it was on HBO. I'm certain of that. They interview Enrique Tarrio, the head of the Proud Boys, and he comes right out and fucking gives up the game that he doesn't really have a political ideology, and that he has all these T-shirt companies that are conservative. But he's got T-shirt companies that are liberal, too. He's got T-shirt companies that sell everything. These people just don't have ethics. That's my problem. I don't have fucking, or I have ethics. If I didn't have ethics, like, I could go be a right-wing commentator. I'm better than a lot of the people they have. I'm way better than Dave Rubin. Better than Sean Hannity. I could possibly be up there like Tucker level. Telling you. It's like they don't have a lot of talent over there. I'm far easier to listen to than Ben Shapiro. I mean, I feel like I've told you guys that I work for an anti-union organization and I make their propaganda. Overcharge them. Better me having their money than them having that money, right? The absurd firing of a Georgia teacher shows how GOP laws are pushing classroom censorship. Washington Post opinion columnist Greg Sargent and Paul Waldman on Wednesday highlighted the firing of a 5th grade teacher in Georgia that they say highlights the ways GOP-backed laws banning the teaching of divisive concepts have created a chilling effect that has resulted in classroom censorship. The teacher in question, Catherine Renderl, is facing termination after she read her class a children's book called My Shadow is Purple, that critics say broaches the topic of gender identity, although it mentions nothing about transgender or LGBTQ issues. The book is written from the perspective of a child who likes both traditionally boy things like trains and girl things like glitter. Oh my God! I like glitter. Who doesn't like glitter? Conclusion is essentially that sometimes blue and pink don't really capture kids' full interests and personalities, and that everyone is unique and should just be themselves. My God! The message was apparently too much to handle for one local parent who filed a complaint against Renderl, who got the teacher on the fast track to being fired. When Durrell's attorney, Craig Goodmark, tells Sargent and Waldman that it is ridiculous that a complaint from a single parent is now enough to trigger a dismissal, this particular email initiating a termination is absurd. This one parent's view of what's divisive being adopted by a whole district? These fuckers are out of control. As I said, don't let it be said that I am not covering both sides of an issue. We'll look at censorship on the other side, apparently, that the Alphabet Mafia got a couple of news directors fired at a Michigan station. That could have been the woke mob getting them canceled.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Or it could have just been the station thinking that they didn't represent their values. Who am I to judge, right? News directors at a Michigan TV station are ousted after telling staff to get both sides of Pride coverage, which is a crazy statement to make. What does that mean? Exactly right, clinically. What is the other side of Pride Month? Yeah, let's go interview some Nazis about how they're against equality. Are you shitting me? I think that's a boneheaded thing to say. 2 news directors at a Michigan NBC affiliate were ousted this past Thursday following the circulation of an internal memo calling for scaled-back coverage of Pride Month events and directing the station's journalists to get both sides on LGBTQ issues, a source with knowledge of the situation told CNN. The email sent earlier this month by Stanton Tang, news director of Grand Rapids-based Wood TV. We have played stories from Wood TV. And Amy Fox, the station's assistant news director, said the polarizing nature of Pride events had upset some of its conservative viewers. You should tell them to go fuck themselves. Need to recognize that some stories related to LGBTQ issues are going to be controversial and polarizing to our community. You personally may not agree with a certain position. People are entitled to their opinions, and they are our viewers. You can't report it as if they're legitimate, because that legitimizes them. You can't give it credence. Their argument is absurd. Debating people like me on a stream is one thing. A local news station covering them as if they have anything of substance to add is crazy. No, there's a problem. Like, so a lot of times Republicans have played this really well, right? So they play this media bias game. So a lot of times news stations feel the need to, like, take climate change, for instance. They feel the need that for their coverage of climate change, that they need to balance it out with climate deniers and make it 50-50 on their coverage. But that doesn't properly represent what's going on. Not 50-50. It's a bunch of nut jobs, and yeah, they're fun to watch and they're fun to make fun of. But they're not equal, and you can't present them as equal, because then the stupid people that are watching think that they're equal arguments, and they're not. And Republicans have played this incredibly well in order to get media to, fucking CNN especially is bad about it, treating Republicans as if they actually have something to say when they're just spouting nonsense. One of them in Georgia must have been spouting some incredible nonsense, because the election board decided not to seat one of the Republican nominees. The Republicans have sued over the rejection of their party nominee to the election board in Georgia's most populous county. The Republican Party in Georgia's most populous county is suing local elected officials over the rejection of one of the party's nominees to serve on the county election board, saying he was punished for trying to clean up voter rolls. In the lawsuit filed on Friday, the Fulton County Republican Party asked the judge to order the County Board of Commissioners to appoint Jason Frazier to the County Board of Elections and Registration. Fulton County, which includes most of the city of Atlanta, is a Democratic stronghold. Frazier has recently filed challenges to the eligibility of thousands of Fulton County voters. The GOP lawsuit notes that both the state and federal law permit such challenges, and his demonstrated commitment to preserving the integrity of the state's elections make him uniquely suited to help the county's election process. That is why the county's Republican Party nominated him to the election board, the suit says. The 5-member county election board is made up of 2 people nominated by the county Republican Party, 2 people nominated by the county Democratic Party, and a chairperson appointed by the Board of Commissioners. The commissioners named a chairperson in May and voted unanimously to approve the 2 Democratic nominees and 1 Republican nominee, but Frazier's nomination was twice rejected, with only the 2 Republican commissioners voting to approve the nomination each time. The lawsuit names the Board of Commissioners and each of the 7 commissioners as defendants. That's what this is the process. I don't fucking right-wingers. They are such big babies. You couldn't get seated. Move on. Name somebody that everybody can agree on. Fucking shit. And we're getting ready. We're getting ready to learn an awful lot about what went on in Georgia in 2020. When we get indictments in the case against Trump and his election interference in the state of Georgia, which are coming pretty much any day now, Been a lot of speculation that they might come in August. We're going to learn an awful lot about what was going on. I want to know more about Kanye West's personal assistant that was badgering people in Atlanta. I got to know more about that. There's a lot of shenanigans that were going on in the state of Georgia in 2020, and we're getting ready to learn a lot about it. But the old wise sage of our time, Mr. Joseph Rogan, has thoughts on our election process here in the United States.
It was a rigged election.
Rigged.
It was, even if it wasn't rigged.
He's still saying it.
But even if it wasn't rigged, let's say it wasn't rigged. Let's say it was a fair, and that's who won, and that's how it was going to be. Biden won. For sure, it was rigged by the media.
Come on, man.
For sure. Just the Hunter Biden laptop case and the Russia collusion case. Just those two things.
Yeah.
Just
the fuck are you talking about?
True that they pushed out in front of everybody, and that we know, had to do with trying to get rid of Trump. That was a big. That is
one over-reporting and one under-reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is in many ways. That's
an attempt.
It's not high enough for this shit.
Manipulation of a public narrative. It's a manipulation of what the people think is real and not real. Everybody thought he was in collusion with Russia. It's what everybody thought. It's what there were just all these mainstream, except Fox News.
Yeah.
They were the only ones. They were the only ones that weren't pushing it. Everybody else was pushing it.
Yeah.
Could be because he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not true, and it's proven to be not true. And then
No, it was proven to be true. What are you talking about? Holy fuck, Joe, you're an idiot. Come on, man. Come on, man. When they say prove it, they're very quick to use the word collusion, which is not a legal term. There was no conspiracy to commit election fraud. But he absolutely was asking Russia for help. They met with Russia to try to get dirt on Hillary in the Trump Tower meeting. Paul Manafort was on the take with several Russian oligarchs. So, Joe, what you're saying is wrong. The Mueller report and the Senate Intelligence Committee report both found over 100 connections between the campaign and Russia. You're dumb, dude. You're dumb.
Then there's the Hunter Biden laptop thing, which they knew was true, and they said wasn't true.
Yeah.
And they told you that
what was true?
They stopped people from sharing it on social media. They stopped people from sharing it on Twitter. Zuckerberg sat in that very chair and said that the FBI contacted Facebook and told them that it was Russian disinformation. They were getting a bunch of Russian disinformation. And so they
And also, yes, Venus. You bring up an excellent point. So, Mark Zuckerberg didn't tell you that the FBI contacted him about the Hunter Biden laptop. Mark Zuckerberg, we can go back and play it if you want to. Mark Zuckerberg told you that the FBI warned him of Russian propaganda and disinformation campaigns, and that was why he was careful with the Hunter Biden laptop story. That's what I'm thinking. Like, the truth here is, like, Hunter had a laptop. I still don't know what claim changes any fucking thing. These people are nuts.
limited the
People that
spread of that.
Wow.
I don't know how they did it. I don't know exactly what they did to limit the distribution
You guys
of that,
put up
that
with
article.
FBI's involved in that.
It's wild shit,
It's pretty
dude.
wild.
It's wild shit, and no one cares. No one's up in arms. No one's freaking out, because that is a way that you're going to rig an election without rigging an election.
Yeah.
Whether you like that guy or not, we have to follow the rules. We have to. And if we don't follow the rules because we don't like somebody, and we break the law because we don't like somebody, we don't want them to win.
No, I agree.
Now this
That's
is Banana Republic shit.
Yeah, that's not cool at all.
That's scary. And the fact that they were willing to do that, and that there's no oversight, that no one can stop them from doing that, and then there's no punishment for them doing that.
It also speaks to like how much he's despised by this.
Despised.
I mean,
Now he's kicking it.
A banana republic is a country that the U.S. has interfered in. Gets its name from the United Fruit Company. Like in South America or one of these little island countries, Hawaii, where we have overturned democratically elected leaders and installed like puppet governments that are partial to U.S. corporate interests. DJ Dub has seen the pics on this stream. We looked at them. I felt icky going through the pictures on Hunter's laptop. He had some sexy companions. He looked sexy in several of them. There was some sexual anarchy going on.
You live in sexual anarchy?
I feel like he even had a picture of his butt on his phone. So we saw Hunter Biden's butt. But that's not the only dumb thing Joe Rogan has said here recently. We gotta take Joe Rogan to task. And my God, he had Ice Cube on, so I hope Ice Cube actually pushes back against him, because Ice Cube is a good guy, I want to believe.
People that own these companies, and why would they let a decision like that take the company down?
I don't think they thought it was going to. I think this is a legitimate public outrage one, where they just pushed too far and people went, fuck you. And it wasn't even like a real like promotion. It was a thing they sent a can to this person, this Dylan Mulvaney person. But I don't think it went anywhere else. I think it was just like, here, this is for you, and you put it on social media. They made some sort of a partnering deal, you know, and that was it.
So why Target do the same thing?
Well, I think that's an ESG thing. That's an ESG thing, right? And Target lost billions of dollars too, because people are sick of this shit. They're sick of social things like that are controversial getting stuffed into your face, and where you have to accept it.
Yeah.
And people are like, I don't want to accept it. It's just like, I'm just coming here for fucking toilet paper.
Yeah, I think, you know, people got to keep it in perspective as well too. You know, I don't think people grab a beer to be so. I mean, to you know, to learn about the newest social event or the social situation going on.
Right.
Grab a beer because you want a beer, hang with your buddies, or hang, you know, with people that enjoy beer, and y'all shoot the shit. And politics really shouldn't be in somebody's beer mug, you know?
They just don't get it. They think it has to be in everything. Everybody, because...
But Joe, you're acting like this is some sort of organic thing that's happened, and not a well-funded, well-coordinated effort to try to push the LGBTQ community back into the closet. It's very obvious, dude. Like, come the fuck on.
Because of social media, everybody feels like they're fighting some sort of social battle with everything they do. And, you know, and this is another one. It's like forced compliance. You're forced to comply with this. And, you know, it's fucking up women's sports in a huge way.
Bullshit. Fucking up women's sports, my ass. And let's get back to, like, we were all raised in hustle culture, and that's like one of the streaming services, HBO, shows fucking ads now, and it pisses me off. There's like a Melissa McCarthy ad that plays at the beginning of shit. Maybe it was YouTube, I don't know. I was watching YouTube on the PlayStation, and I got a commercial. It was really pissing me off. It was Melissa McCarthy. So here's this supposedly, you know, one of the best comedians in this time, right? She's one of the headliners. And we're here in 2023, and she's just doing this soulless fucking commercial. The joke that she tells in the commercial isn't funny at all. You know, like, fucking rewind 30 fucking years, and Bill Hicks is like, anybody that does a commercial is out, except Willie Nelson. Willie got that tax bill. Willie gets a pass. But anybody else that does a commercial, you're out. You're not a creative. You're not legitimate anymore. But now, fucking, what's the point? In this day and age, there's no point in holding on to your integrity. it really sucks, you know. The fucking everybody does commercials. All the creative people do the commercials. All of them, like, you can't blame them. Cash out, get that money. Fuck it, who gives a shit now? Am I becoming cynical in my older age? Shit.
In a huge way. And, you know, some organizations are pushing back against that, and some people are pushing back against the organizations that are pushing back against it, which to me is insane. Like, if you care at all about biological women, you should be against that.
What if, like, LeBron said he wanted to play in the WNBA? Like, I'm retiring from the NBA because I'm 49, and I'm going to play in the WNBA.
Well, they wouldn't be able to stop it if he just decided to say publicly.
No, because they have rules. You have to transition for so long. You have to have certain testosterone levels. I don't know all the hormones that they measure. I'm sure it's estrogen levels if you're transitioning to a woman. He can't just be like, oh, I'm a woman today and go play in the WNBA. That's not how it works. It pisses me off. They're doing a disservice to their audience. This motherfucker has millions of people that watches him. And he's not properly representing the other side of the argument. If you're going to... Dude, just sit and talk to Ice Cube about fucking bullshit. Get high with Ice Cube and shoot the shit. Don't talk about fucking women's sports. Why are you talking to Ice Cube about women's sports? What the fuck? And if you're gonna have an opinion on a subject, can you please be fucking informed? It's infuriating.
I identify as a woman. What are they gonna do? They can't do anything. And then that would be the end. That would be... Dave Chappelle's a bit about it.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's a stupid fuck too.
LeBron scores 100 again tonight.
Well, there was some fucking knucklehead that was getting an interview. They said, if Mike Tyson identified as a woman, should he be able to fight women? And they were like, well, the short answer is yes.
Lord.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's okay. And there's also different specifications. It's like what you have to do and how long you have to take hormones before you can identify as a woman and compete as a woman. Like, just fucking stop.
Man, who's going to check all that?
Yeah. There's a reason why this
But they have fucking people that do this.
men's sports and it's...
Who's gonna check all that? Fucking, these teams have whole teams of doctors. It's their little fucking job, dude, to monitor these people's fucking nutrition and shit. Their hormone levels. Oh my fucking god. Sorry. Just like, he said the thing. He said the important thing, but he just kind of fucking blew it off like it didn't matter. Oh, well, they've got to be tested. They got to be on hormones and stuff for so long, blah, blah, blah. Then you were wrong when you said LeBron can just say, I identify as a woman and walk into the WNBA now. Weren't you, Joe?
Talking about who you are, what your truth is. Live your truth.
I mean, Title IX just got...
Fucking trans porn is awesome.
30 or
yeah,
something like that. You know what I mean? So
protecting women's sports. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great because it forces schools and, you know, they make a lot of money, you know, in teaching whatever they teach in them schools.
We're talking about universities?
Carve out some for women to be able to play for their school, you know. That's great. And so I don't understand. You know, sometimes things don't make crazy man sense. And when they don't make crazy man sense, I just...
Or sometimes you're not informed.
I just stop thinking about it.
Yeah, it's
probably... Yeah, you should stop thinking about it. You should not talk about shit you don't know about. It is okay not to have opinions on shit that you know nothing about. Lance Armstrong decided he was going to weigh in on the issue of transgender athletes. Twitter reminds Lance Armstrong he's a cheater when he questions the fairness of trans athletes. The Tour de France champion was stripped of his titles after admitting to doping in 2013. Lance Armstrong was reminded why he isn't the spokesperson for fairness in sports after offering his take on trans athletes with dumb shits. The pro cyclist got called a hypocrite after questioning the fairness of trans athletes Sunday on Twitter. Armstrong's own sporting legacy was tarnished after he admitted in 2013 to cheating with performance-enhancing drugs. The athlete seemed oblivious about his reputation. They live in rich people world. Joe Rogan, Ice Cube, they live in rich people world. They don't get fucking challenged. He also complained about getting canceled for his views. Other replies on this tweet were good. Yeah, Huffington Post doesn't embed shit. Fucking hypocrites, though. I gotta do it to you again. I gotta do it to you again because I gotta comment on this. I'm sorry. You're gonna be like, fuck. That's a lot of fucking Joe Rogan tonight. The short one.
Take a brand, Bud Light, which is like known for, you know, blue collar drinking people. They like to fucking watch football and drink Bud Light. And then all of a sudden you have this mentally ill person who's just an attention whore. And you make a big deal out of putting this person's 365 days of womanhood.
There's just the lack of self-awareness to sit in front of a fucking sign that says Joe Rogan and speak in front of a microphone to millions of people and to call someone else an attention whore is astounding, Joe. Your name is in lights behind you. My God. Learn to feel embarrassment. Good evening, Snicks. I can't believe this. Joe Rogan had the audacity to call somebody else an attention whore with his name in lights behind him.
Known for, you know, blue collar drinking people. They like to fucking watch football and drink Bud Light. And then all of a sudden you have this mentally ill person who's just an attention whore. And you make a big deal out of putting this person's 365 days of womanhood. You put that on a Bud Light can and they freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then Kid Rock shoots a bunch of them and then it's on. Once Kid Rock shoots your cans, you got real problems.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
that if you take a brand.
Why would Kid Rock shoot? Kid Rock shooting the fucking cans was the most hilarious thing that came out of this. Jesus, man, have some self-awareness. He mentioned Bud Light. They have triggered conservatives yet again. Last night we played the Fox News hit where like a wounded veteran was talking about like drink Bud Light for wounded veterans. It goes to our charity. And I'm just like, wow, how many heads exploded on Fox News hearing that. But Budweiser apparently had a 4th of July message and it made conservatives go nuts. Budweiser's 4th of July message sparks furor. It's beyond disgusting. You know, let's watch it first. I was going to read the story, read what the backlash is. So let's watch the ad first. So it's a Twitter post. To all who protect America's freedom, this Bud's for you. This July 4th, we're proud to work with Folds of Honor. That's who they were on Fox with, the Folds of Honor people, to help military families today and every day. So this is apparently something that Bud has been doing for years. And the dude was on Fox talking about it.
After my second tour in Iraq as an F-16 pilot, I witnessed a family as their fallen soldier returned home. I felt a calling to help. Budweiser has believed in Folds of Honor for 13 years.
See, they've been working with him for 13 years.
And the 44,000 scholarships awarded to their families. That's enough to fill this stadium. Service never stops, and neither will we.
This pissed conservatives off. So what exactly is it that they want? They didn't want Budweiser to market to anybody that wasn't conservative. They didn't want, Budweiser to market to anything that wasn't conservative values. Is wounded fucking soldiers not conservative values? Is this not conservative enough for you? The fuck? Budweiser shared a 30-second ad that features members of the United States Armed Forces discussing the educational scholarship program Folds of Honor. Though the ad makes no mention of the recent controversy surrounding Bud Light, its collaboration with Mulvaney, or any other crossover with the LGBT plus community, the comment section was filled with furious replies. Using dead soldiers to try to dig back from sponsoring child drag shows and misogyny is beyond disgusting, wrote I.E. Doug Masters. I do want to point out that they threw Dylan Mulvaney under the bus. She came out and said that Bud was not there for her. They did not stand by her. That was wrong of them. I totally understand. They apparently just dropped her cold. Didn't even tell her, hey, we're going to let this play out, yada, yada, yada. We're going to hang low. We appreciate this. Here's a little cash something for you. I'm sorry for your trouble. Donate to a fucking charity of Dylan's choice, something like that. No, just threw her under the bus. Meanwhile, other social media users simply wrote one-word replies such as apologize. This pointed out that AB InBev CEO Michael Ducaris has yet to issue a public apology for the collaboration with Mulvaney, which they shouldn't. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't drink Bud. Bud has donated to Republicans for years. So, what's the snake that eats itself? The Ouroboros? This is what this is. This is the fucking snake eating itself. Anheuser-Busch has overwhelmingly donated to Republicans. Sorry about your luck. Budweiser's tweet alongside the video, the company noted that it was proud to work with Folds of Honor. But Twitter user MJ Cannon didn't believe the brand. No, you're not. This should have been the first choice, not Dylan. You're using this now to save face. Fucking idiots.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
Tell him, Rudy.
As a conservative, it's getting harder and harder to not look like a kook.
Tell him, Rush. Let's keep dunking on conservatives, shall we? This time, the Australian variety. Lyle Shelton hits out at fake gay penguins at Sea Life Aquarium in Sydney. Apparently that's not a video. Conservative political leader Lyle Shelton has accused the Sea Life Aquarium in Sydney of creating fake gay penguins, Finn and Magic, to indoctrinate children, blasting the aquatic attraction for interfering with the animal kingdom. Mr. Shelton has unleashed on a plan for the resident gay penguin couple to be used to give lessons about same-sex relationships to NSW school students. Under the plan, the Finn and Magic, who have now raised chicks together, will be part of the NSW syllabus. They're adorable. Look at them. They have been together for 5 years. But this asshole doesn't recognize when two penguins love each other. Proposal has not impressed the family first party leader who accused the aquarium of tricking the penguins into thinking they are gay. Fake gay penguins, Finn and Magic, are being used to indoctrinate children. As expected, no mention was made of how these two male penguins had been manipulated. You see, penguins, particularly gentoos, as these two are astounding creatures who in 90% of cases will bond for life with their breeding mate. So when these two were given eggs to incubate together, this would have encouraged them to stay together for future breeding cycles and effectively stopped them from seeking out female partners. In other words, Mr. Shelton insists that Finn and Magic simply would have been given more opportunity to meet the right lady. Absolute fucking morons. So, I don't know how much we're going to... This is a 10-minute long video. I don't know how much of it I'm going to be able to stand. 9.5 minutes. I've got some good shit afterwards. So if you feel the need to bail on me, give me 10, 15 minutes, and we will be done with the chuckle fucks of the Daily Wire. I know at least Ben Shapiro is here. We might get Andrew Clavin. We might get Michael Knowles. We might get Matt Walsh. Maybe we even get the God King himself, Jeremy Boring. Perhaps Brett Cooper or Jordan Peterson. Any number of the talented stars of the Daily Wire could appear in this backstage segment. But I do have to hit you with a content warning. There are going to be white jerk-off men talking about a woman's appearance, and it's going to piss me off. It's going to piss you off because it's none of their fucking business. Lizzo apparently went to the beach, and when she went to the beach, she wore a bikini. And for some reason, the right wing thinks this is something they should have an opinion on. I was told that she should cover up, and I'm like, she's at the fucking beach. That is beach attire. Go fuck yourself. You have no reason to talk about a woman's appearance. I think she should dress modestly. I don't give a shit what you think. She is not doing it for you.
The new institutions are the things that people doubt more than anything else because they're clearly and overtly lying. And all the things that they are saying to you, you know are not true. Which brings us to Lizzo. So, I really think this stuff is kind of important. Like,
we do have Brett Cooper
today about why Lizzo is a heroine and is not actually a fat activist. She's an activist for all of us. And being large is really totally fine. And why is everybody? It's a standard of beauty that's really the problem. And here's the thing: everybody knows in their heart that it's not true. Everybody knows that it's not true. Which is why there's that great meme that's been going around where it's like,
Buddy! She absolutely is beautiful. I think she is fucking drop dead gorgeous. She can smother me in titties. She can smother me in ass, thighs, whatever she wanted to do. And not only is she gorgeous, she's also insanely talented. Unlike you, Ben Shapiro.
I think it started with Tim Pool, actually, where Tim Pool was like, you talk to people on the left and they're all like, Lizzo's beautiful. They're like, you should say, well, you remind me of Lizzo. And then see, and see how that works out for you.
Right. Lizzo doesn't believe it either. I mean, she just recently was saying she wants to drop out of music because she can't deal with the criticism. And meanwhile, it's like, that's very telling because she's got the Washington Post, all the major media outlets, every institute, fans, everyone telling her she's beautiful, she's amazing. And then just one, I think that her whole freak out was one comment that one random person left that made it all come crumbling down.
It was Candace. Something before she blocked Candace. I think she blocked Candace.
Was it Candace?
I don't know if it actually was her. I think I commented on it, but I know that she blocked Candace. She's like clapping. She's like, I did that.
Either way, it's all this just being showered with love, and then one person makes it all come crumbling.
But by the way, this I guess is why, to tie it back in with the 2024 and all the other elections, the reason I'm a little down on Republican prospects is, one, because I think the system is rough. You know, the other day we found 300 mail-in ballots in a random locker in Michigan. And I'm not saying it swung the election, but I bet there's a lot of lockers in Michigan. And so that's an issue that you got to deal with. But more broadly, just look at what we're seeing. We all know that this stuff is crazy. We're seeing this reflected in the polls, especially among younger voters. No one really believes that Lizzo is healthy. No one really believes a lot of the lies that we're told. And yet,
they are
the governing power,
talking about health,
the schools and the government,
while smoking cigars,
flag right in front of us. They're all putting the bicyclists right in front of us. None of them
and
are
drinking alcohol.
Light's not letting up. Target's not letting. None of them are. And why are they not letting up? Because
I bring this up every time somebody wants to comment on Lizzo's weight. She is in better shape than I am. I could not do a 2-hour concert, belt out the fucking lyrics of the songs, dance, and play the fucking flute the way she does. And she is all over that goddamn stage. I promise she is in better shape than all three of the men, and probably Brett Cooper too.
They feel confident enough that the people can be as angry as they want to be. That's not going to make a difference, even if the many are furious.
So I don't think that's actually. I think that this has been one of the best Pride months in the history of Pride Month.
Sure.
I mean, because honestly,
yes, they're all failed actors and comedians.
There've been all sorts of brands have basically been like, you know what?
Yeah.
Right. The NHL.
Maybe Ben was a screenwriter or some shit.
And you know what? That's great. I mean, like, again, that's being driven by the excesses. But this is the part that's so funny, is that I will never cease to find it humorous that people suddenly discovered that pride parades exist. Like, I'm never going to stop thinking this is funny. Like, people will be like, oh my God, I was at a pride parade and a pride parade broke out. It's like, yeah, correct. Like, because
what?
Correct. The media depiction for 40 years of the pride parade was, oh, it's just, it's a bunch of nice looking homosexual families who are walking down the street wearing like American pastoral, pitchforks and suits, and they're but carrying a gay pride flag, just like you would if you were gay. And then what these parades have been since literally ever has been men in assless chaps dancing around, and suddenly there are cameras trained on it, and people are allowed to notice. And I'm not sure what happened when people were. It's just Twitter, basically. I mean, it's the rise of social media.
Yeah.
Because before that, it was the media that was basically doing cleanup for all of this stuff. It was like you weren't allowed to mention that any of this stuff was happening. It's why people are mad at libs of TikTok for actually putting this stuff on.
Somebody shared a video. Who was it? Mary Jane shared the video of Walter Masterson talking to the kids, like acting like he was posing as a right winger. I forgot the point I was gonna make. Hold on, it'll come back to me.
Sure, what happened when people were? It's just Twitter, basically. I mean, it's the.
Yes. The kids kept telling the dude, like, the internet's not real life, dude. The internet's not real life. Ben Shapiro, Twitter isn't real life. That's your problem. All you've like, there's like less than 2 million people or something that use. Yes, I'm a pothead. I'm not high enough for this. I'm not high enough for these motherfuckers. Though Matt Walsh is over there in that corner. Don't forget that Matt Walsh once said of me.
JustinFREAKIN is a formidable voice in the culture.
It's the rise of social media.
Yeah.
Because before that, it was the media that was basically doing cleanup for all of this stuff. It was like you weren't allowed to mention that any of this stuff was happening. It's why people are mad at libs of TikTok for actually putting this stuff on her account now, right? They're mad at Chaya. They're like, oh my God, you're exposing millions of children to this sort of stuff.
No, they're mad at Chaya because she is sending targeted harassment campaigns towards people who are completely innocent, just posting shit to TikTok, living their lives on the internet like capitalism has trained us to create brands for ourselves and images and dumb shit like that. So they're just sharing their lives like people do in these weird parasocial relationships on the internet. And for some reason, they were targeted by an asshole that wanted to imply they were groomers. That's what happened, you ass.
Putting on your TikTok account.
She's still search banned, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, really?
Search banned.
Yesterday. She won't pop up in search. Many other people are reporting this. Some of the independent sites are showing that. So
I'm seeing some people on the right. You want to talk about misbegotten criticism? There are people on the right who are saying, well, you know, you're just adding to the exposure that these people are getting when they're being exhibitionistic by pointing out that they're doing this stuff and then retweeting the videos of them doing it. And it's like, you're missing the entire point. You're missing the entire point. If the thing is a moral atrocity, if the thing is a problem, and more people know about the problem and the moral atrocity, more people are likely to resist the problem.
We've been hugely, we have to be better, I think.
What is the moral atrocity? That gay people exist and live out in the open. I want them to say it because they can't bring themselves to say it. What you think is a moral atrocity is that gay people have the audacity to be open. And that bugs me, that you think they should be in the closet. I ain't gonna let it happen.
Thing on the right about celebrating our victories when they come, because I think there's a certain attitude that like nothing is ever a victory. It's always terrible. It never gets better. Yeah. And we're seeing this too with some of the stuff in Pride Month. These people say, well, institutions are still, these companies, they're still doing Pride. Well,
Bud Light fired those executives.
Yeah, Bud Light fired the executives. A lot of these companies are pulling back from the Pride stuff.
Look, I'll let you have your giving me hope moment. But before we do that, they fire this VP of marketing who took the fall for this thing. This decision was made at a much higher level, and it was made at a higher level because of the asset managers that are pushing ESG, and it was made at a higher level because Anheuser-Busch is part of GARM, right, the Global Alliance for Responsibility.
Anheuser-Busch. Anheuser-Busch. I gotta give him credit. That's kind of witty. It's fucking stupid, but it's kind of witty. It's another one of those things where right-wing humor, it doesn't hit because humor is an exaggeration of a truth. And right-wing humor depends on like a complete fantasy, so they can't exaggerate a truth. They exaggerate something they believe is true. Like when they tell their jokes, it's basically just like Hunter Biden's a crackhead is the punchline. And it's like, that's not a fucking joke, dude. Like, that's why you're not funny. I will say, I was trying to mock a right. I'll own up when I'm wrong. I should have saved the meme. I went off on this right-winger, and I was like, that's the stupidest fucking meme. Right-wingers aren't fucking funny. You can't meme. God damn, this is stupid. And he's like, it's a play on words. And I'm like, what's the fucking play on words here? That's you don't even know what a play on word means. I didn't get it. It was actually a play on words. I totally didn't get the joke, and I'm cussing this motherfucker out, calling him a dumb fuck. It was like a picture of Paul Heyman, worried, upset or something, and it was like liberal arts students when they forgot to do their drawing of Joe Biden for class. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking make any sense. It's not a play on words, you stupid fuck. It's just you saying stupid liberal arts students. And then I got it, liberal arts students. I'm like, the fucking arts department is like, that is in the liberal arts department. The liberal arts student. Their drawing of Joe Biden. Ha 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 ha.
Come on, man.
Anyway. Transizer-Bush. You guys like Taylor Swift? We were talking about Lizzo. You into Taylor Swift? T-Swifty? She's on a tour. She keeps making news. The Cincinnati Reds hilariously ruined a moment in a Taylor Swift concert. So apparently this is one of her ballads she was performing. But the Cincinnati Reds, I assume this is the football stadium and the Reds are playing over across the river. And they apparently just won their sporty ball game. And during a ballad, the fireworks went off. So hell yeah. It's funny that the Reds did that. We have another baseball-related incident. This was in the Cubs-Brewers game last night. Delay is possible due to the Taylor Swift concert. Indeed. The Cubs beat the Brewers in a wild game on Tuesday, and they did so with manager David Ross and first base coach Mike Napoli watching the final outs from the clubhouse after they were both ejected following an embarrassing mistake by the home plate umpire. So let's see. They're gonna break it down for us.
Not happy with Eric Backus.
There's two parts, right? Number one, he called strike three. It was strike two. That's not really the big deal. The big deal is that he called a strike and the catcher dropped the ball, which some people in old school baseball think should never be rewarded as a strike. But the computer, of course, doesn't care how the catcher receives it. So that pitch was a strike and was correctly officiated. But the argument is over balls and strikes. Furthermore, by doing that strike three punch out, it sort of tells the batter, my at-bat is over. You know, even though it's not, you have that immediate reaction that, wait, my at-bat's over, so I might as well go back and talk to you. And so that leads to that instigation, that little confrontation behind home plate. Backus actually immediately realizes it's only 2 strikes, but it's too late. Swanson cares more about the location issue than the 2 versus 3, but Mike Napoli at first is a different story.
Napoli frustrated with Andy Fletcher for some reason. Maybe.
Base runner chirps the plate umpire on the strike call. Fletcher comes in to warn. Assistant coach gets involved. Umpire says, I warned. Coach says, F your warning. Plate umpire F'd up. There's an ejection. Napoli says, F you. Gotta buy this guy a thesaurus. Batter still arguing, and this turns into a complete cluster of stupidity.
Fletcher and Mike Napoli. Andy Fletcher. I think he's upset with Eric Backus.
He threw him out.
Yeah.
Out comes the manager. Looks like Napoli bumped the umpire. That's not a good thing.
Said the magic word.
Yeah,
Got thrown out.
I always think the umpire maybe touched me. He got too close to me.
Right.
The ever reliable you put your face too close to my fist defense. So Ross finishes with Fletcher and goes to argue with Backus.
Here's David Ross getting tossed. Very cordially.
Hoping that another manager gets tossed.
Ross goes over. Backus is like, are you really going to argue balls and strikes? Ross says yes, he wants to get tossed over this. So Backus obliges, and we're getting a strike argument out of a correct strike call that looked terrible because the catcher dropped the ball.
In these conversations, can I ask you this?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever get you're right?
No. No.
I mean, in this situation, why would you? But Andy Fletcher's like, I really have to deal with this again? All right.
I was never able to stay that calm. Give Rossi a lot of credit.
He was talking about the strike zone with Eric Backus, I'm sure. And he got run on his way back to the dugout.
Sometimes I was embarrassed by some of the things that I did. And you're hoping that someone else kind of takes over for you.
And a strike, it's strike 2.
Anyway, back to a 2-strike count. Let's just close out the at-bat.
Struck him out with a changeup. All back.
No, it didn't even matter. He strike 3. That was fun. Hold on, let me plug the YouTube channel that did that breakdown, because they did a fantastic job. That is the Close Call Sports YouTube channel. Boom. I'm not a sporty ball person, but I would watch videos like that. That was very interesting. And they let me know what was going on, even though I don't know shit about your sporty ball. I know a lot more about movies. I'm more of a movie buff. You guys movie buffs? What are you guys excited to see? Anybody seen Oppenheimer yet? What do you think about it? I think the big movie coming out this weekend, I think. The highly, highly anticipated Barbie movie. Preacher calls for holy judgment on Barbie movie for being full of transgender and homosexuality. Well, they kind of just sold me on it. I was talking to my buddy. I'm like, are they going for us? Are we the audience for that? Because like he told me that his wife would take their daughter, who's like 10 or 8 or something. Like, oh, they'll go see it. I'm like, are they the audience or are we the audience? I thought we were the audience for this. The film, starring Margot Robbie in the titular role and directed by Greta Gerwig, is set to be released on the 21st of July, so we're still a couple weeks off. I'm sorry if I got you excited. Maybe, Dustin. Maybe it is genuinely for people of all ages. I know that it was supposed to be an Amy Schumer movie. And they booted Amy Schumer from it. So perhaps they wanted to... Amy Schumer probably wouldn't talk about her vag and stuff. So they pulled back on the Amy Schumer and made it more wholesome. I don't know, I just felt like it's going for, like... And maybe that is the appeal, right? So it's for the kids, but it's cool for the parents because it's the member berries thing. And apparently, like, the Aqua song, like, somebody samples it in one of the songs. Like, Aqua's not on the soundtrack, but one of the songs samples it. You gotta, why didn't you just use the Aqua song? Come on. Christian preacher Kent Christmas. I mean, if your last name is fucking Christmas. Oh, I find Amy Schumer more attractive than I find her funny. Really, I have a type, and it's definitely like, you know, curvy women. The body type of like Amy Schumer. Yeah. Why am I telling too much information? But anyway, Christian. Yeah, I like the thick. Hold on. I keep that thing handy. I got a meme. Where is it? No way, I did not delete it. I don't see it anywhere. Oh, shit. It's like, it's gotten me laid. The meme got me laid. Oh, I do not see it anywhere. It should be like right here. She had seen that I posted the meme. And she sent me the meme and was like, is this true? I was like, yeah. And it's like a guy, and oh, there it is. I was like, there's no way I deleted that. Yeah, woman just sent me that, she saw that I posted that. She's like, is that true? I was like, yeah. And she sent me a picture of she was getting her butthole waxed. She was like at the waxing place as she was talking to me. Oh. She's like, I really liked her, but she did not like me. She did not like me. Because let's just say I've never had a woman be like, all right, that's enough. I'm ready to go to sleep. I've never had that happen before. So I went into the living room and played video games for a couple hours. Like smoked a bong, played some video games and shit. And then went back and like I got in bed and like was cuddling with her. It's like 4:30 or something in the morning. So like I'm trying to cuddle with her. And she like pushes me off. I was like, no, I don't like that. And I look sat up. I'm like, you didn't get me off. You don't want to cuddle. Why are you here? And I kicked her out at 4:30 in the morning. I think that's a little rude. He got hers. Now, granted, I got off once, but then I kept going and going because I'm like that. So I was ready to go again by the time I guess like I gave her a really good orgasm. She was ready to fucking go to bed. Sent me a picture of her getting her butthole waxed. Like, are you doing that for any particular reason? Got a hot date? Oh, we never. This is fucking pastor bitching about the Barbie movie. That's like the main thing I came here for. I've actually got the motherfucker saying it.
And I curse in the name of the Lord this new Barbie movie that has been released full of transsexual and transgender and homosexuality. In the name of the Lord, make God loose a holy judgment. Hallelujah.
What's wrong with his arms? What? Huh? Arms aren't supposed to look like that. What's that flap there? I mean, I don't want to make fun of somebody's appearance. Maybe he used to be a lot bigger. He's got some skin flaps, but it looks like it's kind of like a muscle thing.
Go ahead and write in all that you want. What's happened is...
I know I would not chow down on those chicken wings, sir. They don't look very meaty.
Church has been so intimidated and so silent.
Oh, nope, it's skin flap.
Stand up and declare, thus saith the Lord. And I curse in the name of the Lord this new Barbie movie that has been...
I feel like cursing in the name of the Lord is actually forbidden. I think you're actually commanded not to do that, sir.
Been released full of transsexual and transgender and homosexuality.
Yeah, that's for about 3 viddy.
Lord, make God loose a holy judgment. Hallelujah. Go ahead and write in all that you want.
Like, seriously, if I didn't have ethics, I would have been a preacher. I would have been an amazing fucking preacher. But no, I don't want to take advantage of it. I can't get up and say shit I don't fucking believe in. Hearing him say the Barbie movie. As if you're the fucking target audience for the Barbie movie. Jesus Christ. Get over yourself, you dumb fuck. Would I have been a Southern Baptist preacher? I went to a Southern Baptist church. I don't know that it would have fit my style, though. What's the church that's the loosest about smoking weed? That's not like the Rastafarian church or some shit. You guys want to see a whale rescue? This is your animal video for the night. A whale rescue. Would have been like that little kid from Jesus Camp. So, got a lot of problems with SeaWorld. It was an hour-long operation. Got a lot of problems with SeaWorld, but this is cool. They went out to rescue this whale. And I believe that the workers at SeaWorld probably really care about animals.
This is the sound of a whale in distress. The humpback calf, measuring 33 feet, is entangled in sharp control netting off the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia.
Oh, poor baby.
Rescuers from SeaWorld were alerted the previous afternoon, but couldn't set off for several hours due to poor weather conditions.
Oh.
June is peak migration season for whales in this region. More than 40,000 pass through, heading to the tropical waters of the north to breed.
Well, he's a beauty.
Trapped whales can die of stress or exhaustion, and with a net wrapped around the humpback's head and fins, the rescue operation is painstaking.
Oh, God. Oh, sweet baby.
But finally, after about an hour, success. The young whale is released and able to swim free.
They're pretty smart. Think he understood that they were there to help? And then they stole the baby whale for their new exhibit.
Whale of the year in Queensland. However, according to Australian conservationists, a record number of whales were caught in shark nets last year, prompting renewed calls for the netting to be removed during migration season, so that events like this become a thing of the past.
Well, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Pretty good.
whale in distress.
But then you get people that are like Cartman. It's like, I don't give a fuck about whales, so go and hug a tree.
Rescuers from SeaWorld were alerted the previous afternoon, but couldn't set off for several hours due to poor weather conditions.
You might have said crap. That might have been before they started cussing a lot in South Park.
Migration season for whales in this region. More than 40,000 pass through, heading to the
Yeah, apparently they do. I would assume that they have, you know, a lot of
trapped whales can die of stress or exhaustion.
Oceanologists
wrapped around the humpback's head.
What are the?
Is painstaking.
I'm sure they have names and shit. They have experts in that field.
But finally, after about an hour, success. The young whale is released and able to swim free.
I'm sure you say like botanologist, but that's like botany. That's like plants.
This
wheel and dolphin.
Queensland. However, according to Australian conservationists, a record number of whales were caught in shark nets last
And see, that's the thing, is like right wingers talk about like, oh, you can't make jokes anymore. South Park is still one of the biggest shows on television. Matt and Trey won a fucking like record number of Tonys. With a fucking play where one of the songs, the chorus is "Fuck You God." You can't trust those seabirds. You kill a seabird, they'll put a curse on you. Frank murdered a seabird. You know any ways we can remove the curse? Well, we can slit his neck and drink his blood. I'm just letting the fucking animal videos play. Alright. I'm actually amazed I made it through the whole show. We did my entire list of notes because I was not feeling good when this started. And I have no clue how I'll feel when I turn this off. I'll probably like just crash in the floor. Like I watch a lot of adult cartoons. Like I'm not opposed to cartoons. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of anything. I've watched like the first few episodes of Royal Crackers. I've been going back. I never watched Regular Show. I've been going back and watching Regular Show, and it's been cracking me up. Chainsaw got here just for the end of the stream. I might get off here and die. I don't know. Last night I collapsed after the stream. Oh shit! Have you ever seen this where the cat gets up in the ring video? Inside Job. Is that the one about the financial crash? I watch a hell of a lot of documentaries. I've enjoyed. I don't know if Royal Crack. I've watched it all. If it's already like done with its first season. I don't know if I've watched it all. I've probably watched like the first 5 episodes. Adult cartoons like, you know, South Park and Simpsons and Family Guy and Bob's Burgers. Yeah, it's about the financial. I'm a huge documentary fan. Anime just means cartoon, doesn't it? But like, I assume anime is a like Japanese cartoon. Like I feel like I'm just old enough to have missed that craze. Like I want to say the Power Rangers started when I was in like 4th or 5th grade. And by like 6th grade, I'm like, you know, I'm done with Power Rangers and I'm on to pussy. Like by the time I'm like in 6th grade, like all I could think about was like pussy. I was trying to look cool and get laid. And it would be years and years and years before either of those things would happen. I did not look cool, and I did not get laid. Hentai is porn, right? Tentacle porn. I think. I don't know. I'm not into it. Otherwise, it's just sparkling cartoons. Oh, shit. So, yeah, I didn't... because I went back to college later on in life, because I went back when I was like 27, 28. So, the people that I was in college with, they were like the... They were like the generation that was really into, like, my pot dealer loved Dragon Ball Z and all kinds of shit I'd never even fucking heard of. So I missed out on it. Like my former best friend Molly Mayhem. God, I've tried so hard. I've tried so fucking hard to get Molly Mayhem to appear on the Freak Show, to appear on the Troll Patrol. Molly Mayhem hates my fucking guts. I've tried though. We watched this video the other day of the duck and the cow. Like seriously, like my side is really starting to hurt again. I may be having the heart attack, or it may just be like I think it's gas. I'm pretty sure it's gas. My titty hurts. Why does my titty hurt? I haven't had any vegetables for like 4 days. I've been eating chili dogs. So I think I just got gas. And I'm not supposed to have coffee. And like I drank coffee all goddamn day yesterday. I'm literally not supposed to have coffee. Doctors have told me not to have coffee. That somehow I've ruined my gut. And coffee causes just like a bomb to go off in my stomach. But in case you guys don't know, I fucking love coffee and I drink it all the goddamn time. Seriously, that's what it is. Like, I can press my side and I'll fart. So like, I think it's gas. This is insane gas pain. The Titty Patrol. What are those raccoons doing? Oh, maybe they're wrestling. I thought they were getting indecent over here or something. I fucking love coffee so goddamn much. And it really doesn't bother me as long as like I don't have an empty stomach. But I tend not to eat until later in the day. And if I'm busy, I'll put it off. Oh, the puppy is laying with the kid while he gets his teeth cleaned. Oh, it's like an emotional support puppy at the dentist's office. That's a great idea. Oh, I want to hold a puppy while I get dental work done. This puppy has the longest tongue. Oh my God, chocolate covered coffee beans. Hell yeah. Oh, anything like that, I'm so into it. I like dark chocolate. I've got a weird fucking taste. So I might get off here and have some dark chocolate milk. Oh, look at that face. Holy shit. Did it say Sandy? Oh, Sandy is absolutely gorgeous. Oh. It was Bungie? Oh, his tongue is Bungee Jump. Oh. Oh, this is Mocha. Where did I get Sandy from? I've never just ate coffee beans, no. Maybe it was Sandy. Maybe I'm fucked up here. This is Sandy. Oh my God, look at Sandy. Alright, for reals, I'm out of here. I've got to go over to the couch and die or something. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back, It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol. Live.